Hey there, welcome everybody to TXN Sports World. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher and Michael Bullock. TXN Sports World on the air here tonight. We got a lot going on here tonight. Team USA just survives a scare from Team Canada. Team USA has advanced to the semifinals of the World Baseball Classic, and it sets up a very appetizing semifinal on Sunday. Team USA versus the Dominican Republic. Whoa, that is going to be cinema. I'll tell you that right now. And of course, we've also got championship week, college basketball games going on right now, conference tournaments in full swing, the power conferences taking shape. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But first thing we're going to get into here tonight, NFL free agency. The free agency frenzy, as they've called it. And my, oh my, has it been a frenzy. It's been a frenzy and nothing but a frenzy. I mean, not just Michael Bullock's AFC champion New England Patriots, not just my Buffalo Bills, not just MF's Miami Dolphins, but everywhere you look, big moves happening. And bear with me as I, try to get all the schematics of all of this here. Um, as you know, we're going to run down only the notable, and I mean notable, moves of NFL free agency, of the free agency frenzy so far, and in no particular order, let's um let's run it down. The first big move, the first big move, you know, all these moves are all over the place. The first big move was the Los Angeles Rams. When the Los Angeles Rams went out and got Trent McDuffie from the Kansas City Chiefs. Huge, huge for Kansas City, or should I say for the Rams. And other notable moves, after Trent McDuffie, in no particular order, the New England Patriots releasing Stephon Diggs. The the Pittsburgh Steelers releasing Jonnu Smith. The Buffalo Bills trading for wide receiver DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears. And then from there, the Rams re-signing Tyler Higbee, the Houston Texans extending Danielle Hunter, the Chicago Bears releasing Tremaine Edmonds, the Raiders releasing Geno Smith. I think we all know the reasoning for that. Number one draft pick, a certain Heisman Trophy winner who led his school to the national championship a couple months ago. I think we all know who we're referring to there. The Miami Dolphins releasing Alec Ingold. The New England Patriots signing Tommy Cutlets, Tommy DeVito, the Gabagool, as MF would always call him, Tommy DeVito with the New England Patriots. Joe Mixon released by the Houston Texans, but they also extended their tight end Dalton Schultz. The Chicago Bears trading for Garrett Bradbury from the New England Patriots. Jordan Davis staying with the Philadelphia Eagles. Zaire Franklin going to the Green Bay Packers. Khalil Mack staying with the LA Chargers. Trent McDuffie also signing an extension with the Rams. Alec Ingold has a new team, and that team is the Los Angeles Chargers. They signed Alec Ingold from the Miami Dolphins. The Buffalo Bills, they traded. They let go of, they released Taron Johnson, and Taron Johnson has a new home. He will be signing with the Las Vegas Raiders. Big move here by the Miami Dolphins. This was not a matter of if, it was just a matter of when. The Tua Tagovailoa era is over in Miami. The Miami Dolphins releasing Tua Tagovailoa. It gets worse for Dolphin fans. Minka Fitzpatrick traded to the New York Jets. Travis Kelce returning for a 14th season with the Kansas City Chiefs. Alec Pierce staying with the Indianapolis Colts. The New England Patriots signing Draymond Jones. The first, another one of the major bombs of this free agency frenzy. Super Bowl 60 MVP Kenneth Walker III leaving the Seattle Seahawks and signing with the Kansas City Chiefs. Whoa. Cade Otton staying with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jalen Phillips signing with the Carolina Panthers. Michael Pittman Jr. traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Miami Dolphins have a new quarterback. His name is Malik Willis. The Miami Dolphins signing Malik Willis from the Green Bay Packers. Michael Pittman, like we said, officially signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Isaiah Likely leaving the Baltimore Ravens, and he will be reunited with his coach, John Harbaugh. Isaiah Likely signing with the New York Giants. And Josh Allen in Buffalo, he's going to have a new backup quarterback. Mitchell Trubisky signing with the Tennessee Titans. And then from there, Kenneth Gainwell signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and signing him from the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers made another big move, signing Alex Anzalone from the Detroit Lions. The looking for I'm looking for some notable names here. The Las Vegas Raiders signing Tyler Linderbaum. And the Arizona Cardinals signing Tyler Algier from Atlanta. Travis Etienne leaving the Jacksonville Jaguars. He has signed with the New Orleans Saints. Wan'Dale Robinson leaving the New York Giants. He has signed with the Tennessee Titans. Jalen Naylor signing with the Las Vegas Raiders. The Buffalo Bills releasing David Edwards. He has signed with the New Orleans Saints. The next major bomb. Mike Evans has left the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and has signed with the San Francisco 49ers. Jamel Dean signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jahan Dotson signing with the Atlanta Falcons. John Franklin Myers signing with the Tennessee Titans. Tremaine Edmonds signing with the New York Giants. J.K. Dobbins staying with the Denver Broncos. Marcus Mariota staying with the Washington Commanders. Tua Tagovailoa has a new home. He is now with the Atlanta Falcons. Laramie Tunsil staying with the Washington Commanders. Dre Greenlaw released by the Denver Broncos. Nakobe Dean signing with the Las Vegas Raiders. Quay Walker signing with the Las Vegas Raiders. Rashid Shaheed staying with the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. Kenny Pickett signing with the Carolina Panthers. Reed Blankenship from the Philadelphia Eagles signing with the Houston Texans. An old friend of Michael Bullock, Kendrick Bourne, signing with the Arizona Cardinals. Rico Dowdle, who had a couple of big games for the Carolina Panthers last season, he has a new home. He has signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tyquan Thornton staying with the Kansas City Chiefs. Elijah Vera Tucker signing with the New England Patriots. Dawson Knox staying with the Buffalo Bills. So the 1-2 punch of Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid at tight end will remain intact in Buffalo. Isaiah Pacheco leaving the Kansas City Chiefs, and he has signed with the Detroit Lions. Kaimi Fairbairn staying with the Houston Texans. Geno Smith going back to the New York Jets. Here you go, Bullock. Romeo Dobbs signing with the New England Patriots. That'll fill the void of Stephon Diggs. Nashawn Wright signing with the New York Jets. Reek Woolen leaving the champion Seahawks. He has signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. Teddy Bridgewater signing with the Detroit Lions. He's now the backup quarterback for Jared Goff after Kyle Allen went to Buffalo. Leo Chanel, formerly Kansas City Chiefs, he has a new home. He has signed with the Washington Commanders. Cam Hayward staying with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Patrick Ricard has signed with the New York Giants. He'll be reunited with John Harbaugh. Another major bomb, the Baltimore Ravens signing Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson, a Baltimore Raven. Daniel Jones staying with the Indianapolis Colts. Kevin Byard signing with the New England Patriots. MF, I know you're not going to like this one. Formerly of the Miami Dolphins, Bradley Chubb has signed with the Buffalo Bills. Whoa, that is awesome. Javon Hargrave signing with the Green Bay Packers. Looking for some other notable names here. Rashad White signing with the Washington Commanders. Dre Greenlaw going back to the San Francisco 49ers. Kyler Murray. This was the next bomb. Kyler Murray signing with the Minnesota Vikings. The Buffalo Bills, another splash. They signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson from the Chicago Bears. Other notables, Tennessee Titans releasing L'Jarius Sneed. Mr., and I do mean Mr. Simone Biles, Jonathan Owens. He has signed with the Indianapolis Colts. And I do believe, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's that. Those are all the notable moves for NFL free agency. Wow. What do we make of all this, guys? I mean, whoa. I'll do the best I can here. Trent McDuffie to the Rams. That's big. That is big. McDuffie, one of the key cogs of that Kansas City Chiefs defense during their dynasty years. He now goes to the LA Rams. Kenneth Walker. We saw what Kenneth Walker did in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Ran circles around him. MVP of Super Bowl 60. And now he's taken his talents to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs were embarrassed last season. They finished a dismal 6-11. Their franchise quarterback suffered a gruesome injury near the tail end of the season. Who knows if he'll be ready to go when we get to opening day. But you got Kenneth Walker coming in. You got Kelsey coming back, hoping for one last Super Bowl run. And then Mike Evans going to San Francisco. I mean, that is huge for the 49ers. Brock Purdy gets another big play, gets a humongous big play receiver. And it looks like the Miami Dolphins are definitely in a rebuild mode after releasing Tua Tagovailoa and signing Malik Willis. Also letting Alec Ingold go to the Chargers. Looks like they're in rebuild mode. Buffalo, I love the moves that Buffalo has made. They also added Geno Stone to the mix today. They signed Geno Stone from Cincinnati. That's a big move for them. They are not messing around. They have made some big plays on the defense, made some big moves on defense. They also signed D. Alford from Atlanta and C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Bradley Chubb and and then the big bomb getting DJ Moore. We saw the big plays that DJ Moore made in Chicago last season. I mean, just absolutely amazing. And I'm very pleased with the moves that the Buffalo Bills have made. Michael Bullock's Patriots have made some moves of their own. They did release Stephon Diggs, but they made up for that. They filled that void. They got Romeo Dobbs. That's huge for them. We saw what he did in Green Bay. And then getting Draymond Jones. That's big. That's also good for New England. Trey Hendrickson going to Baltimore. The Ravens have been known for defense. And of course, the big thing, they had Max Crosby. They signed Max Crosby. But Max Crosby failed his physical. And because he failed his physical, the Ravens backed out of that trade. But they let Crosby go, but they did get their big money defensive acquisition after all, getting Trey Hendrickson, a beast in Cincinnati. And a couple of former Ravens leaving Baltimore with John Harbaugh to the New York Giants, Patrick Ricard, and of course, Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely, alongside of Cam Scatterboo and Malik Neighbors. I mean, that is going to be a fun young unit to watch next season for the Giants. And and some players that were previously on one team that started with a team and then went to other teams are now back with their original teams. I mean, Geno Smith back in New York with the New York Jets. And Dre Greenlaw, he started in San Francisco. Now he's back in San Francisco after he was in Denver. And Chargers making some good moves, getting Alec Ingold. Khalil Mack is coming back. I mean, the Chargers are going to be one to watch for next year. No question about that. And yeah, I mean, so many great moves. I mean, last year's free agency frenzy was wild, and here we are again. Um, just another wild and crazy free agency frenzy. Daniel Jones staying in Indy. Daniel Jones with having his best statistical season that was up until he got injured. And the Colts, you know, they started off so red hot and then they cooled right off and then they fell off the cliff. And Tennessee making some good moves as well. I mean, I like some of those moves. Kyler Murray now with the Minnesota Vikings. What's that going to mean for J.J. McCarthy? Um, could Kyler Murray be QB1 in Minnesota? Very possible. But he missed a lot of last season because of that foot injury. So we'll see how that plays out. Detroit getting Isaiah Pacheco, which makes sense because they let go of David Montgomery. David Montgomery went to Houston. So you got a new Knuckles for Sonic. It's obviously Jahmyr Gibbs' team now. When it comes to the running game, it is Jahmyr Gibbs, and that is the right move because Gibbs, no disrespect to Montgomery, Montgomery was great, but Jahmyr Gibbs is just a dynamo, and him and Pacheco, that's going to be very interesting in Detroit. That's going to be a great 1-2 punch there, and yeah, so a great free agency frenzy. I mean, those are just my notable moves. I mean, if I missed anything, I apologize. I was just going off of what I saw on the social media pages for the NFL with all these free agency moves. So some head scratchers, maybe, but there were also some great ones. I mean, I'm very pleased with what Buffalo did and with the moves they've made so far, especially on the defensive side of the ball for new defensive coordinator Jim Leonard. I mean, I'm looking forward to that. And DJ Moore with Josh Allen. I mean, get your popcorn ready, Buffalo. Get your popcorn ready. I know I certainly am. And some good moves for New England. Miami's in a rebuild. Sorry, MF, but it's true. And yeah, so that's the standouts for me. So not much more. MF, come on in. You heard all the moves. Your standouts from another wild and crazy free agency frenzy.
Yeah, no, I think what you said was pretty much everything that I thought. The biggest one was the Mike Evans. Mike Evans to the 49ers absolutely took us by surprise. I gotta say that one was the shocker for me to see that happened. Um, it was insane how that happened, and yeah, there's been some quite a few moves that we've seen uh up to this point has been remarkable, and yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, you as far as Miami goes, look, we know we're in a rebuild. We know we got a lot to worry about. Um, I think for us to get Malik Willis was a great deal, and we didn't overspend. We did not break the bank for Malik, which I thought was a great thing for us. And I really feel very optimistic about the rest of the way. And yeah, a lot. Anthony, you covered practically everything else, so there's really nothing more for me to add on this one. So, Michael Bullock, it's all yours.
How'd you feel about your Patriots moves there, Bullock?
I think they did. I think they did good. I mean, I think there's still some other things they can accomplish, but look, we just started free agency. I mean, I just think that you never know. I mean, there still could be some things that they can improve upon, whether it's offensively, defensively, but yeah, they definitely made some good moves here. I mean, getting Dobbs. I mean, getting some help on that offensive line. I mean, also on the defensive side of the ball, especially the Byard signing. I mean, remember Byard played for the Titans under Coach Mike Vrabel, so he knows when Mike Vrabel he knows Mike Vrabel's system. So that's going to be something to see. But yeah, and then of course, like you said, Fletch, the Dolphins are even you knew it from the get go that this was going to be a rebuild year because things just weren't going the way it was going to be. But it was only a matter of time. But like you said, now with Tua Tagovailoa going to Atlanta, and yeah, a lot of really good things stand out. And of course, everybody is wondering, and this is the $1 million question. I know it's not a free agency thing, but it's also a trade thing. It comes to AJ Brown. Now, from some of the sources I've been hearing, the Patriots are one team that's interested, and that's the favorite. Another team is the LA Rams. Now, and this was as of today, and Fleur, you know about this. Fletch, I don't know if you heard about it, but according to the Athletics, Diana Rossini, she reported on Friday that the Eagles had entertained serious conversations about dealing Brown with the Rams and the Patriots. But as of right now, they are holding off on trading him. So right now, he is still a Philadelphia Eagle. So, but here's the thing that she also said: if a trade were to happen, it would likely heat up closer to June 1st. So, and I think one of the things, and I heard something is that if they were to trade him right now, the Eagles would take a big cap hit. So, but if they were to do it close to June 1st, around that time, they'd still take a cap hit, but it wouldn't be a big one. So so as of right now, he is still a Philadelphia Eagle, but keep an eye on it if we get closer to June 1st. So there's still a possibility that he could leave or get traded to one of those two, or it could be someone else that swoops in. But here's the thing, also, they're asking for 2 first-round picks and more. So I don't know. I mean, I really want this to happen, but do we really want to give up first-round picks for? I don't know. I'm torn with this. I mean, Florio, what do you think?
Well, Buffalo had to gave up a second round pick to get DJ Moore.
But
Pretty decent pick there.
AJ
But I'll
Brown
tell
is
you
a
what,
AJ Brown is a bigger name.
AJ Brown is
not
a
just
bigger name,
and no
and he had
disrespect to DJ Moore.
so absolutely. And
But but the problem is, do you want another Stephon Diggs in your locker room? Because I hate to say it, AJ Brown is a headache. He is a little bit of a problem,
especially last year.
And especially last year, Bullet. Is New England willing?
Here's the reason why I would think maybe it could work in New England, because who is the coach of that team?
Mike Vrabel.
And who did AJ Brown play with in Tennessee? Who was the coach at that time?
Mike Vrabel.
Got it, but
maybe it could work under Vrabel. Well, maybe it's just the way he was used in Philadelphia. I think it kind of got under AJ Brown's skin.
Yeah, but that's because it was the offensive coordinator's fault. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna stand here and say that it was the coach's fault on this one, because they utilized them correctly the first time around, the first year. They changed offensive coordinators, and that's when they got themselves in trouble. So I kind of feel like, yeah, it's kind of one of those type of things, but it is what it is. But yeah.
If this were to happen, I mean, if this trade were to happen to New England, I would give it a chance, because Mike Vrabel, I mean, remember, he changed the culture last year in New England, and Steph Diggs was one of the guys, and Steph Diggs loved playing for Vrabel. Maybe it could be different. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But we need to keep an eye on this, especially as we get closer to that June 1st, if those talks start to heat up again. But as of right now, it looks like he's going to be staying in Philadelphia. So, nothing more to say. I think we're going to talk about some championship week stuff, Florio.
Yes, we are. And so far, 15 teams have punched automatic bids to the NCAA tournament, including, how about this, guys, a first-timer. You know how much we love the first-timers. Making their first ever NCAA tournament appearance, the winners of the Atlantic Sun Conference, the Queens Royals, the Queens University of Charlotte. They won the Atlantic Sun Conference tournament. They're making their first ever appearance in the NCAA tournament. Another thing that we love about the NCAA tournament is seeing a team go back to the tournament for the first time in forever and a day. That's the case for the University of Idaho. The winners of the Big Sky Conference, they're going dancing for the first time since 1990. How about that? 36 years since Idaho has made the tournament. For the second consecutive year, High Point, they won the Big South Conference. They're in for the second year in a row. Another long time coming, the winners of the CAA Conference. I believe that's the Colonial Athletic Association. Hofstra, going to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2001. A quarter century for Hofstra. For the first time since 2022, Wright State will be in the NCAA tournament. They won the Horizon League. The MAAC, that went to Siena, and Siena in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2010. For the first time since 2016, Northern Iowa Now we remember what Northern Iowa did. Remember that tournament 10 years ago when they hit that insane half-court buzzer beater to win that game? They're back. Northern Iowa. They won the Missouri Valley Conference, first time since 2016. Representing the Northeast Conference, the Long Island University Sharks. Now, unfortunately, they got in because of a technicality. The team that they played in the championship game was a first-year team in the conference, Mercyhurst. And first-year teams are not eligible for the tournament. So because of this, LIU got an automatic bid because of a technicality. So, but regardless, LIU in the tournament for the first time since 2018. Representing the Ohio Valley Conference, Tennessee State. And they're making their first tournament appearance since 1994. 32 years for Tennessee State. Representing the Patriot League, Lehigh, going to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2012. Lehigh knocked off Boston University in the Patriot League final. For the first time since 2023, since they had a major upset win of their own, which made Kevin Harlan lose his mind a few years ago. Furman, back in the NCAA tournament, they won the Southern Conference, first tournament appearance since 2023. Southland Conference, that went to McNeese. McNeese, second year in a row, they're going dancing, representing the Southland Conference. For the first time since 2019, North Dakota State, they won the Summit League Conference. They're in. Second year in a row, the Trojans of Troy will be dancing. They won the Sun Belt Conference. And last but certainly not least, stop me if this sounds familiar. For the 28th time in history, the winners of the West Coast Conference tournament, to the surprise of absolutely none of us, it is the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Gonzaga going dancing yet again. So they added another West Coast Conference tournament title to their resume. Automatic bids still to be punched in no particular order. America East, American, Atlantic 10, ACC, Big 12, Big East, Big 10, Big West, Conference USA, Ivy League, MAC, MEAC, Mountain West, SEC, SWAC, and the WAC. So let's set the table as only we can. And it'll start tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. with the America East final. And it's number 1 versus number 2. The number 1 seed in the America East is UMBC. You remember UMBC. They were the team they were the first team ever to do the impossible, to do something that we never thought we'd ever see on the men's side. They were the first 16 seed to upset a 1 when they upset Virginia in 2018. UMBC is the 1 seed in this conference tournament, and they're going to be squaring off against the 2 seed and a tournament veteran, the Vermont Catamounts. That game will be seen tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., and that'll be on ESPN2. And UMBC, by virtue of them being the number 1 seed, they will be the home team in this game, because all games in that tournament are played on campus sites. So setting the table for tomorrow here. Yeah, Vermont and UMBC. I'm only talking about title games here. That will be for the America East tournament. A lot of the power tournaments will be pretty much in semifinal mode. But we do have some championship games. Okay. We got a triple main event tomorrow night. And I do mean a triple main event. It's gonna start right around, I want to say, 6 o'clock or so over on ESPN, where they're gonna have the Big 12 championship game. And it's gonna be number 1 versus number 2. Spoiler alert, all 3 of these games are gonna be number 1 versus number 2. But there will be title games tomorrow. There will also be title games on Sunday. So that was in the America East Conference. In the American Conference, we had 2 semifinal matchups. Number 1 seed South Florida versus number 5 seed Charlotte, and number 2 seed Wichita State versus number 3 seed Tulsa. These games are being played in Birmingham, Alabama, at the Legacy Arena. The 2 winners from those 2 semifinals will meet for the championship on Sunday at 3:15 p.m. over on ESPN. Atlantic 10 tournament. We got the semifinals. Semifinals will take place tomorrow afternoon on the CBS Sports Network at 1 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. And we got all chalk. Number 1 seed St. Louis versus number 4 seed Dayton, and number 2 seed VCU versus number 3 seed St. Joseph's. Those 2 winners will battle for the Atlantic 10 championship 1 p.m. on Sunday on CBS. And that tournament is being held at the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Here you go, MF, your conference, the ACC, and you got yourself and this is the second, another one of those huge championship games. 8:30 p.m. tomorrow night on ESPN from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. The number 1 seed, your Duke Blue Devils, MF, against the number 2 seed, the Virginia Cavaliers. Be something. Duke and Virginia for the ACC championship tomorrow night. Duke, no trouble with Clemson. Virginia, no trouble with Miami. So it sets up Duke and Virginia for the ACC championship. Big 12 championship from the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri. We got a very tasty matchup here. You thought Duke and Virginia was something? How about number 1 seed Arizona versus number 2 seed Houston? Whoa, ho, 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 ho. Houston and Arizona for the Big 12. That will be played at 6 p.m. tomorrow night on ESPN from the Sprint Center in Kansas City. For me and Bullock, our conference, the Big East Conference, the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden in New York City. Another very sexy matchup. Number 1 seed and defending Big East tournament champions, St. John's, squaring off against the number 2 seed, UConn. The UConn Huskies and the St. John's Red Storm for the Big East championship tomorrow night. St. John's knocking off Seton Hall in the semifinal, 78-68. UConn took care of Georgetown. Great Cinderella story for Ed Cooley in Georgetown. Knocking off DePaul and Villanova. But they ran into the buzzsaw known as UConn. So UConn and St. John's tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox in Madison Square Garden. That is going to be a war. The Big Ten Championship from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. Semifinals, 1 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. tomorrow on CBS. One team that was expected to be there is there, and that was the number 1 seed, the Michigan Wolverines. We had 3 upsets today, guys. The number 4 seed, Illinois, upset by number 5 seed Wisconsin, 91-88 in overtime. The number 2 seed was Nebraska. They got upset by the number 7 seed Purdue, 74-58. And moments ago, the number 6 seed UCLA upsetting the number 3 seed Michigan State, 88-84. So it sets up Michigan versus Wisconsin in one semifinal and Purdue and UCLA in the other semifinal. Championship game Sunday afternoon, 3:30 on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Just before the announcement of Selection Sunday. And then from there, we move on to the Big West Conference from the Lee's Family Forum in Henderson, Nevada. We have a semifinal in progress right now. The number 2 seed Hawaii squaring off against the 3 seed Cal State Fullerton. They'll square off against the number 1 seed UC Irvine for the championship tomorrow night, late tomorrow night over on ESPN2. That out of the Big West. Conference USA from the Von Braun Civic Center in Huntsville, Alabama. We have our final. Our final will be at 8:30 tomorrow night on the CBS Sports Network. It will feature the number 4 seed Louisiana Tech squaring off against the number 6 seed Kennesaw State. So that's on CBS Sports Network tomorrow night. The Ivy League from the Newman Arena in Ithaca, New York. It's a 4-team tournament. First semifinal tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. over on ESPN University. The number 1 seed Yale will square off against the number 4 seed Cornell. And then at approximately 2 p.m. over on ESPN News, it will be the number 2 seed Harvard versus the number 3 seed Penn. And those two winners will battle it out for the Ivy League championship at 12 noon on Sunday on ESPN2. There are 4 other teams in the Ivy League. Princeton, Dartmouth, Columbia, and Brown did not qualify. Only the top 4 teams play in the Ivy League tournament. The MAC Conference. And this is where the big talking point comes out of this. Rocket Arena, Cleveland, Ohio. The odds-on favorites in this tournament were the Red Hawks of Miami of Ohio. They ran the table in the regular season. They went undefeated. But then in their first game of the tournament, they went down. They lost to the 8 seed UMass Minutemen, 87-83 on Thursday. A lot of talk about them. Will we hear their name called on Selection Sunday? What's going to happen with them? But we don't know that. But what we do know is that tomorrow at 8 o'clock tomorrow night on ESPN2, it will be the number 2 seed Akron versus the number 4 seed Toledo for the MAC Conference Tournament Championship. And then we move on to the MEAC Conference. This tournament played at the legendary Norfolk Scope in Norfolk, Virginia. And I believe we have our final in this one. It'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. The number 1 seed, Howard, squaring off against the number 3 seed, North Carolina Central. Winner of that will represent the MEAC in the NCAA tournament. The Mountain West Conference Tournament. As always, from the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, Paradise, Nevada, whatever you want to call it. We have a semifinal in action right now. The number 2 seed, San Diego State, versus the number 3 seed, New Mexico. The winner of that game will square off against the number 1 seed, Utah State. 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night on CBS. Winner will claim the Mountain West Conference Tournament title. SEC. You ready for some craziness, gentlemen? Look at the craziness that has been going on in this conference tournament. Well, upper side of the bracket, not totally crazy. the number 1 seed and defending national champions, the Florida Gators. They're in the semifinals. They'll be squaring off against the number 4 seed, Vanderbilt, at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. This tournament from the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. Florida versus Vanderbilt in one semifinal. In the other semifinal, we have a 15 seed in the semifinal. Ole Miss. Ole Miss defeated Texas in the first game of the tournament on Wednesday. They were the 10 seed Texas, then defeated 7 seed Georgia 76-72 on Thursday. And earlier tonight, they knocked off the number 2 seed Alabama 80-79. Ole Miss is in, and they will now await either 3 seed Arkansas or number 11 seed Oklahoma in the other semifinal. Championship game, Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN in Nashville. Absolutely crazy. 2 more conference tournaments to cover. We got the SWAC conference from the Gateway Center Arena in College Park, Georgia. We have our championship final. It will be tomorrow night at 7:30 on ESPN University. It will feature the number 3 seed Southern squaring off against the number 8 seed Prairie View A&M. And then, last but not least, the Western Athletic Conference, the WAC Conference, from the Orleans Arena in Paradise, Nevada, outside of Vegas. We have a semifinal in action right now. Number 2 seed California Baptist versus number 3 seed Utah Tech. The winner of that game will square off against the number 1 seed Utah Valley at approximately midnight tomorrow night over on ESPN2. So there you go. That's where we stand in the grand scheme of things right now when it comes into how things are looking right now for the NCAA tournament. So, and we do have a big announcement. I do believe 10 p.m., I believe it is, 10 p.m. Sunday night. Myself, MF, and Michael Bullock, we will be bringing you our annual TXN Sports World Selection Sunday special. Who got in? Who got snubbed? Who do we think is going to cut down the nets on Monday night, April the 6th at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis? You'll have to tune in and find out. So with that being said, MF, come on in. Our voice of March Madness, of course. They call it March Madness for a reason, man. Ho, ho, ho. Wow, what are these results so far?
Yeah, no, this like I said, it all started with Miami of Ohio. When they lost, that sent a ripple effect and created quite a narrative for a lot of fans because all of a sudden it turned the scope of what this tournament could be. There was a lot of fans who were wondering, oh, I don't know. Does that mean they're out? Does that mean, like, what are we looking at? What is going on? It kind of shocked a lot of people. And I will say this. If you think about it, in some of this thing, there's no big surprises here. To honestly and truthfully, when you step back and start looking at, you know, the NCAA tournament, the way that the tournament has broken down up to this point, Big East was no big surprise. The ACC was no big surprise because these were the teams that you expect to be there at the end. You know, they handled their business. They got the job done. They won their game. And, you know, Virginia knocking off Miami, no big surprise. For Miami and for Virginia and Duke to be at the end, no big surprise. Duke right now is fighting for the number 1 overall seed. If they win tomorrow, they lock it up. There's no ifs, no ands, no buts about it. Duke will be the number 1 overall seed going into the NCAA tournament.
Agreed.
They will have everything. They already have the ACC regular season championship. They'll have the ACC tournament title. and they've only got 2 losses to their name. That is, they would be number 1 overall. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. Right now, if you think about it, there's a lot riding on this. So, obviously Houston is going to be there at the end in the Big 12 final. They're playing against Arizona. That's a 1 seed fight. Whoever wins that game gets the 1. If Houston wins, Arizona drops. If Arizona wins, they'll stay on the 1 line. Houston drops, and they probably fall. Maybe they're right now at 5, so they're on the first 2 line. They may drop to maybe the 2nd or 3rd of the number 2s. I don't think they fall out of the 2 line. I don't think so. I think they stay there. Obviously, Michigan, they're also a number 1 seed. If they win their tournament, obviously they still got to play through their stuff. But yeah, I mean, we got some surprises already. And then, of course, Anthony, you alluded to it. St. John versus UConn tomorrow night. That's going to be nuts in Madison Square Garden. So it's going to be that's a good final. Ole Miss. Okay. I had somebody on my Discord group that got very overconfident, saying that this was an easy game for Alabama, that, the team has a losing record. We should not lose to Ole Miss. There's no way we lose to Ole Miss. Well, that aged well, did it? I mean, what do you say? What do you say after something like that happens? I mean, we looked here. We're looking at each other like, wait, Bama lost to who? Yeah, that Ole Miss squad. Oh my word! I hate to say it, but I think all Alabama fans are they're trying to find the nearest bar, because they're gonna want to drown their sorrows right now, because good Lord, they're getting raked through the coals right now by not just the media, but just by the fans themselves. They're absolutely just crushing on Alabama. It's almost unbelievable what just happened. So yeah, I mean, it's right now looking like it's a toss-up on many fronts, to say the very least. I think Duke wins ACC. Big Ten? I mean, Big East? You know what? I know the betting favorite is right now UConn. I know a lot of people think it's going to be UConn. But, dude, the Johnnies in Madison Square Garden, and they are the defending champions of the tournament. I don't know, boys. I think I might go St. John's to knock off UConn in the final. I'm just saying. Going into the final. Big Ten, it's Michigan's to lose now. The biggest threats that you had in the tournament are out. I think Michigan should win this, and I think they will win this. With everything that went down, what it just did is, if you're a bubble team, you're not happy right now, because there's a possibility, there's a major threat here that one of these teams, if a Wisconsin wins, if a Purdue wins, hell, if UCLA wins it all, they might steal a bid, an automatic bid, from one of these teams that's trying to get into the tournament. So right now, if you're a bubble team, you're praying for Michigan to win this tournament. Because if they don't win this, if an automatic bid gets stolen, that means you're on the outside looking in. that means one extra spot has now been taken away. And that's horrific news if you're a bubble team. You don't want the favorites to lose, because that is a high risk of another team stealing your spot out of nowhere. And that's the biggest and that's a big problema if you really think about it, guys. Because you lose that spot, who fills it? That's the big question here. So, and then SEC, man, this is going to be tough. I got to go Florida to win it all. But you know what? Just for the hell of it, I would love to see Ole Miss win it. I would love to see Ole Miss just absolutely, like one of my friends says, I want chaos. I want chaos. Dude, if Ole Miss wins the SEC, you're going to have your chaos, because another bid stolen from the ranks. You freak. It's a freak out. Ooh, yeah. As Macho Man Randy Savage would say. Yeah, that's kind of my feeling right now. I think Florida's going to win the SEC. We'll see how that plays out. But oh man, this is why we love championship week, because there is so much chaos and so much, greatness. And then, like I said, the Big 12 tomorrow night is going to be nuts. You got Arizona. You got Houston. Houston made it all the way to the national championship game a year ago, losing to Florida. They are looking to get the get back. But Arizona has been one of those teams that I would say right now, there's a handful of teams that could win the national championship. You can say Arizona. Duke is right now the favorite. I think everybody going into the bracket, if Duke wins it all, I don't think nobody would be shocked. I would not be shocked if Arizona goes all the way and wins the national championship. I would not be shocked if Michigan goes all the way and wins the national championship. They're that good. Then you got Florida. They're right there. You got Houston. Even though after what Calvin Sampson said about Duke last year, I know it's a family show, so I'm not going to give you my real thoughts and my real sentiments about him and that team. But let me just say, he's a villain in the eyes of the Duke Blue Devil fans. And trust me, we tell as a rivalry, we normally are like, go to hell, Carolina, go to hell. Let's just say we call the Houston Cougars a different name I can't repeat here on air, because I would get myself thrown off the air, or I would have Anthony Florio thrown off YouTube if I really give you my thoughts about the Houston Cougars. I'll leave it at that. And then the other team, as much as I know Michael Bullock can't stand him, you got to think about Dan Hurley and the UConn Huskies. They're right there. I mean, I think they have a shot. I honestly think if they win the Big East tomorrow night, you got to think that they really have a legit shot at maybe a 1, depending on how some other games go down. They could sneak into the 1 line. They're going to be one of the danger 2 line. They're going to be on the 2 line, but I'm telling you, UConn's one of those teams that maybe you don't want to face at the end. Who knows? But I know Michael Bullock. Let's just say how I feel about Calvin Sampson. I know Michael Bullock has a very negative effect about Dan Hurley, and let me tell you, I'll let Bullock talk about it in a minute. But yeah, this tournament has been insane. This is why we love March Madness, man. And it all leads to Sunday. It all leads to Sunday night when the brackets finally drop and we finally get to dive in and dissect and give us our thoughts. Because, like I said, the biggest debate we did have, me and Michael Bullock were talking about it, was Miami of Ohio. But because of things that's been happening, in real time, now I'm kind of starting to feel more confident that I think Miami of Ohio is getting in. At first, I was a little nervous about them, and I even voiced to Michael Bullock that I think they could get left out. But I do believe now, because of some results that has happened earlier tonight, I'm starting to be more bullish on Miami of Ohio getting into the NCAA tournament. At first, I was a little iffy about it, but I'm starting to feel more confident that, yeah, they are going to get through. So, really nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. Championship week. It's been a lot of fun, and it's going to get even crazier. As we've been saying, leading up to Selection Sunday on Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, especially with some of the upsets that we've seen in this tournament as part of championship week so far. I mean, yeah, I definitely see Michigan coming out of the Big Ten, Duke coming out of the ACC. I mean, Big East. I mean, yeah. Personally, I want to see St. John's beat UConn because I can't stand Dan Hurley because he's so much of I don't know how to say this, Fletch, but he's got a big old potty mouth if I want to say
He's a
so.
hothead.
He's a freaking hothead.
He's a hothead, and he's rubbed quite a few people the wrong way. Yeah,
especially me. Well, let's just say he used a word that, well,
you're not supposed to say. You're not supposed to
about
say.
whether it's
very
to me
offensive.
or any of our friends.
Yeah, it was a very offensive word. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'll say. I mean, Florio and Fletch know it, but I'm pretty sure the rest of the world would know it. But that's why I have a huge gripe with Dan Hurley. I mean, so yeah. I mean, Gonzaga getting in again, and so yeah, this has been a fun championship week, and I can't wait to see what tomorrow and Sunday brings, leading up to the Selection Sunday. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. I think, Florio, let's put a bow on this and set up the future content, and of course, one of them will be our Selection Sunday special that you just mentioned.
Indeed, it will be. And give my quick thoughts on it here. I agree with just about everything here. I definitely see Duke coming out of the ACC, although Virginia, that's not going to be easy at all. I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, we got some great games tomorrow all around. But like I said, it comes down to that triple main event, those three huge games in the power conferences with the Big 12 championship, with Houston and Arizona. That's huge implications there. Same can be said for the Big East championship with UConn and St. John's. And then the third and final game of that triple main event, the ACC championship, Virginia and Duke. I mean, my goodness. I mean, those three all have potential to be instant classics. They really do. And those upsets today in the Big Ten, I mean, it's definitely looking like Michigan's to lose now. I mean, Michigan with Wisconsin, and then either Purdue or UCLA after that. We'll see what happens in that. The SEC, yes, MF, you're right. What a story, Ole Miss. A 15 seed. You only hear about 15 seeds in the NCAA tournament. That conference is so huge that, they have like 16, 17, 18 teams somewhere in that area. Ole Miss is a 15 seed, and as of right now, Oklahoma and Arkansas are definitely battling down to the wire with less than a minute to go in the game. Arkansas is up 77-73 with Oklahoma at the free throw line. So I think we're definitely in for another wild finish there in Nashville. Um, uh, and then I think we covered everything else with the mid-major conferences. Miami of Ohio, I still think they're a tournament team. A lot of people are saying they are a tournament team, and that's also bad news for the bubble teams as well, because that them losing to
Yeah.
UMass, that was the last thing the bubble teams wanted.
Yeah.
Last thing they wanted. So
because of the fact that it's uncertain because there's such uncharted waters. Unless the number 2 seed gets through, unless the next team below Miami of Ohio wins, that will save them. But like you said, Miami of Ohio was the team that everybody thought was going to easily go through because of the domination that they had all year long. And we knew that this tournament maybe was going to be, this was to solidify them as one of the top teams out there, and they just absolutely just messed up and got knocked out. And yeah, the bubble teams all kind of probably were freaking out saying, "Oh no, what just happened?"
yeah, and UMass with a losing record also. So
Yeah.
but
So
we'll see. We'll see what happens come
yep.
Sunday. And was I correct on the time for the show? 10 p.m. MF?
Yeah. 10 p.m. is fine.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure on that. So but this in closing, all I want to say before we wrap up here, what a time to be alive here. I mean, this is one of our favorite times of the year. This is one of the best times of the year to be a sports fan. I mean, the NCAA tournament, the World Baseball Classic, the Stanley Cup and NBA playoffs a month away. You also got baseball starting in Major League Baseball starting in 2 weeks. The road to WrestleMania, especially after what we saw tonight, which I know you're going to have a lot to say. I know you're going to be waxing poetic tomorrow night about what happened tonight. We'll see about me, but that's all I'll say.
The only thing
So,
is a lot. I hate to say this, but a lot of people are kind of dumping on the segment, but not for the reasons as you thought. But I'll elaborate into it in just a little bit, or I'll elaborate further tomorrow night.
and what time tomorrow night?
10 p.m.
10 p.m. as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So, all right, and like I said, great time to be alive with all these things going on, and you thought the ride was bumpy already. It's about to get even bumpier. Get ready. Okay, that will put the bow on this edition of TXN Sports World. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We'll be back with you again tomorrow night at 10 p.m. MF will have it, Braves Fan 95. We got the Cerebral Smack Talk. We got TNA Impact. We got Friday Night SmackDown. And time permitting, MF will also have the Ray to Reyes event from AAA. So we'll see how that plays out. Sunday night, also at 10 p.m., it will be our annual TXN Sports World Selection Sunday Special. Who's in? Who's out? Who got snubbed? Who's cutting down the nets in Indianapolis on April 6th? We'll get into all of that on Sunday night. And then Tuesday night, we do it again around that 10:30 or so threshold, Ridiculously Raw, Monday Night Raw, NXT, huge NXT show from Houston. We'll get into that on Tuesday. And then from there, and then we'll figure out the rest of the content following that. So that's it. So until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk over on MF's channel, Brace 95, this is Anthony Floyer here for good old MF, Michael Fletcher, and in spirit, Michael Bullock, and always in forever, our First Lady, Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune Forest style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Saturday. And until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, you've been watching TXN Sports World right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streamy.com. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, 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 bye.